This is the new Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, and it's a bit like a Chiron that's had its weight reduced, suspension stiffened and lower gearing fitted. Wait a minute, that's not an analogy. It's exactly what this car is. And in this video, I'm going to take it for a drive to see what those changes do to the driving experience. I'm also going to launch it to see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Anyway, I'm Mark Watson and you're watching Carwow. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss a single upload, and we'll be doing lots more videos on cars such as this.
Buying a new car? Then head to Carwow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. Carwow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Let's start this video by talking about the engine. So the Pure Sport uses the same 8-litre quad turbo W16 unit that you get in the normal Chiron. It puts out 1500 horsepower and 1600 newton meters of torque. However, in the Pure Sport, they've raised the red line slightly, so it comes in at 6,900 RPM rather than 6,700 RPM on the standard car. So it's just a little bit more revvy. Also, what they've done is change the gear ratios. So the 7-speed dual clutch has 15% shorter ratios than the standard car. The result of that is that this Pure Sport will go from 60 kilometers an hour to 120 kilometers an hour, 2 seconds quicker than the standard Chiron. I know what you're thinking. What will it do 0 to 60 miles an hour? Well, we're going to find out a bit later in the video. The Pure Sport has the same braking system as the normal Chiron. Carbon ceramics all round with 420mm disc grip by 8-piston calipers at the front and 400mm disc grip by 6-piston calipers at the back. One thing that is different with this car is that because it's got a fixed rear wing, you don't have the air brake, which comes into operation on the standard Chiron over 180 kilometers an hour. Does that affect the braking performance for most of the time on the road? Well, let's find out now. Now I'm going to do a brake test from 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, then a full emergency stop. Here we go. What distance are you going to stop in? 33 meters, which incidentally is exactly the same distance it took for me to brake in the Super Sport. Not surprised with that, really. Now let's talk through the design changes on this Pure Sport. The most obvious one is that fixed rear wing. Some people might like it, such as me. Other people might find it a bit too in your face. However, it does provide 50 kilos more downforce, which is important when you're driving quickly on track. The car also has a redesigned rear diffuser. Look, it's more extensive than the standard car. And look, you've got slightly different exhaust layout than the normal Chiron. Moving down the side, the Pure Sport has unique alloy wheels. You've got 21 inches at the back and 20s at the front. You also have the Chiron Pure Sport there on the fuel filler cap. On the front wings, you've got these vents here to release air pressure from underneath the wheel arches to help with stability at speed. Then at the front, larger air intakes than the standard car, air breathers and an extended front splitter, once again for more downforce. On the inside, the changes over the standard Chiron for this Pure Sport include thinner, lightweight sport seats which say Pure Sport on them. You also have Alcantara standard on the steering wheel. The gear paddles, they're larger as well. You get red buttons for the engine and the driving mode selector. Another difference that you have, look, Pure Sport down there on the knee pad and of course on the sills. Other than that, it's just like a normal Chiron. You can spec it how you want it. So there's carbon fibre, exquisite materials, and things like this. The aluminium is actually about that deep. It's solid so that it doesn't vibrate when you're going at very high speed. In fact, everything that you touch just feels super expensive and exquisite. There is something else though for this Pure Sport. You see they've reduced the weight by 50 kilos, and to do that, one of the things that they've actually done is remove some of the soundproofing. They've also given it a special, more lenient stability control mode, and you engage it by pressing this button under here. Gives the car a bit more slip angle than you get in a standard Chiron. But that isn't the only changes they've made to the driving experience. The Pure Sport has been designed to be the most dynamic and track-focused Chiron to date. And to achieve that, Bugatti's fitted it with stiffer springs at the front and the back. In fact, the suspension is 65% stiffer at the front and 33% stiffer at the rear. They've also fitted it with bespoke Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tyres for improved grip. Another thing they've done is change anti-roll bars. They're now carbon fibre. They've also altered the mounting of the suspension to the bodywork. It's even stiffer so the car is more responsive, and they've made the steering lighter so it actually feels more responsive when you drive it. Another key change is to do with the camber of the wheels. Now 2.5 degrees, which is quite a lot, and that can make the car a little bit more sketchy than the standard Chiron to drive in the wet. And that brings us to 5 annoying things about the Chiron Pure Sport. Rear visibility in a Chiron isn't great at the best of times, but at least the wing on the standard car retracts, so when you're manoeuvring at low speed, such as in a McDonald's car park, you can see a little bit behind him. However, with this fixed wing, it sort of gets in the way, doesn't it? You've got to be careful how you release this key because it is a bit of a projectile. Look. Ow! The Chiron Super Sport's top speed is 273 miles an hour. The normal Chiron's is 260 miles an hour, but this Pure Sport can only do 217 miles an hour. That's just lame, it's really slow. With the Pure Sport, Bugatti has chopped out all the weights. They've removed 50 kilos of the stuff. It is the most hardcore, lightweight version of the Chiron. But it still weighs in at 1,945 kilos, which is a bit portly, isn't it? Ooh. This is one bug that seems to be attracting all the bugs. Yeah, the flies seem to like this yellow paint scheme, which is a bit annoying. Go on, you little. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. When you have the Pure Sport in normal drive mode for the automatic gearbox, it'll creep like a normal automatic. However, when you put it into manual, in first gear, it doesn't creep at all. That's to simulate you being a racing driver on the starting line. You don't want a car creeping, otherwise you'll have a false start. So Bugatti has teamed up with razor maker Gillette to design a razor which is inspired by the Pure Sport. Carry on. Yeah. This isn't it. This is actually the key, and I'm using cameraman Lewis to, come on, do it again. Simulate an electric razor sound. Yeah, you get the idea. In the interest of cutting weight from the Pure Sport, Bugatti have fitted it with carbon fibre windscreen wiper arms. I'm not entirely sure how much weight these save, probably no more than you just having a big before going for a drive. The Pure Sport gets unique magnesium wheels which save 5 kilo per corner, and that's 5 kilograms of unsprung mass, which any engineer will tell you is a good thing because it improves the car's agility. The Pure Sport gets an upgraded titanium exhaust over the standard Chiron for a fruitier, deeper, bassier noise. Let's have a listen to it. Go on, start it up. Go on, give it some rev. Oh God, seems there's a bit of a soft limiter on there, but it's still quite raucous. Go on, give it some more. Yeah, that's it. Stop it now, that's enough carcinogens for me. Oh, sounds good though, but it might have shortened my life by a few years. Okay, time to finally drive the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. So already, even just like driving along slowly, it feels a bit more intense than the Super Sport. You got that firmer suspension. It's not uncomfortable, but you just feel the bumps ever so slightly more. You also hear stones rattling around in the wheel arches a little bit more as well because you've got less soundproofing. That makes the experience more intense, as does that shorter gearing. Because when you're in 5th in this, it's like being in 3rd in the Super Sport, just because of the different gear ratios. And so the car just feels more responsive, more on it, more of an animal. The steering is lighter as well, so it helps make the car feel lighter, even though really there's not that much in it. And it certainly feels lighter than something that's just under 2 tons. Oh! Whoa! It's insane. It's insane the speed you get, but also the sensations through your bottom, through the steering wheel. It feels alive. This is a Pure Sport grid. It does hook up in the bends, and you can feel it a little bit moving around. That increased camber makes the car just a little bit more nervous, but not in a bad way, more in an exciting way. You know, I'm going slowly now, I'm going to turn around, and just because the steering wheel is made out of Alcantara, the car instantly gives you this sensation that it's a bit more racy. So if you are getting a Bugatti Chiron and you're mainly going to be just driving, let's say once a month as a special occasion on a track or for a black to really get your heart pumping, Pure Sport is the way to go because it's more of a visceral experience. I mean, they're still very similar, the cars, but this one's just a bit more alive. Whereas if you're doing lots of long motorway miles, you know, you want to be on the Autobahn, you want to be smashing those big numbers, get the Super Sport. Or get the Super Sport if you're wanting it as an investment, because it'll probably be worth more in the future. But in terms of just and giggles, this is the Chiron to go for. It feels like a lightweight sports car, not a completely nuts 8 litre, 16 cylinder, quad turbo, 2-ton, 4-wheel drive monster. It just rearranges your brain, this thing. The perception of what a car can do. And you know, because of that less soundproofing, you're getting more noise inside the cabin, more whistles, more whooshes, more growl. Oh yeah, It's definitely more of a visceral experience. I like this a lot. Oh. The Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport is supposed to do 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, but I'm going to find out for myself. So I'm going to use my specialist timing gear up here. Left foot on the brake, hard on the brake. Press launch control, it's engaged. Floor the throttle. Here we go. Bit of wheel spin there, and the stability kicked in. Oh, we got 2.86 seconds while spinning up its wheels. I reckon we need to have another go. Okay, I'm going to give it another go. This time I'm going to put the car into the sportier mode. So a bit of slip on the stability control. Let's see if that helps. Left foot hard on the brake, launch control engaged, floor throttle, build boost, go. Whoa, went sideways a bit quicker, but not really that much quicker. 2.85. All right, last go, I promise. This is it, here we go. Oh yes, that got better. We got a 2.59. It's getting quicker, but oh, we could be here all day, couldn't we? I might be able to bring it down to the 2.3. Still a little bit of slip. It's impressive though. Maybe the tyres are a little bit old. Maybe, you know, I should have gone to the toilet before I launched the car because I did have a massive dinner last night, huge schnitzel. But anyway, if you want to see how quick I got out the Chiron Super Sport, click on the pop-out banner up there or the link in the description to go check that out, because I went even quicker in the Chiron Super Sport. So then, what's my final verdict on the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should go right ahead and buy it, then give it to me, because it is my favourite of all the Chirons. It's lovely. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you didn't, there's clearly something the matter with you. Let me know of some other hypercars you'd like me to review in the comments below. If you want to watch some more videos, click on those windows there. And if you click on that box there, you can go to CarWow to sell your car and we'll get a great price for it.